Yo, this is Soul Drum 86 bringing you another video. Today we're going to be talking about AEW Fight Forever, man. I think personally this game is, if it's not dead already, it is slowly dying. Um, there's no updates to this date that this video is being recorded that I'm doing right now. There's no updates. This game has honestly been a mess even before it came out. I was hopeful because, the whole talk about what they sold us on is, like No Mercy. It's like No Mercy. Yet the game released with not even half of the features that No Mercy had. Game modes and everything. But, Kenny Omega is a big gamer. So we were like, okay, Kenny Omega's behind this. This should be a pretty good game. I personally still to this day, I don't mind how the game looks. The game is fun. I don't know how many times that I can say the game is fun. I don't hate this product, but I'm disappointed in this product, right? I haven't played this game in a long time. I'm actually not playing now because I wanted to have all my focus on being able to talk about what I wanted to talk about today. And that this game is dying. Whether people like to admit it or not, if you love the game, this game is dying. It's not about how much you like the game or how much you enjoy it. We got to tell the truth about it. We have to tell the truth about it. When this game was first announced, I remember Kenny Omega put a video up on the AEW Games channel, and he said that they're going to continue to update this game. He said, I'm going to keep you guys informed. We're going to keep all you guys informed through the development cycle. That was the plan. And I remember after he made that video, and YouTubers were making videos about this, so everybody's going to remember this. There was radio silence on this game. After he said, look, we're going to keep everybody informed. We're going to keep making these videos. And on the AEW Games channel, they were talking about every other AEW related game other than Fight Forever. It was like they were talking about their mobile GM game and all that other stuff, but nothing about AEW Fight Forever. It was for a long time. There was no talk about it. And that should have been a red flag. Another thing that should have been a red flag was there was never any moments where they were highlighting game features and game modes. There was never any highlighting of what we as fans can expect in this game. There was none of that. Absolutely none of it. They didn't, they did a Q&A after Evil Uno, one of the developers, and Colt Cabana were streaming the game, and they did that Kenny Omega versus Adam Cole match, and they were taking questions and answers, and the person said like, hey, can you edit the wrestlers? And the developer said yeah. And I remember me and a lot of people were hyped because we thought about the days of No Mercy where you can edit them. I mean, you can edit them in 2K, but we thought about the days of No Mercy when, if you needed to update ring attire, everybody had like I forgot how many slots were available, but you could give the wrestlers, their updated looks if you wanted to. I remember putting different color pants on Shawn Michaels and all the others, to making his hearts a different color, stuff like that. So I'm thinking like, cool, if this game is outdated, then we could change. Like, we can make Sammy Guevara not wear the all black. We can make him wear one of his other different like color schemes that he's worn before. We can change MJF's boots to white instead of black. Like, we can do all of this. Nope. You get the game, you can't. All you can do is put shirts on them. That's all you can do is put shirts on them, but you can't edit their ring attire. But the closer and closer this game actually got to the release, I'm thinking like, okay, they're probably going to do some highlight videos that like 2K and other game companies do, not just 2K. And I'm not just talking about WWE 2K. I know NBA 2K, they wait forever because they're in that position to where they can. That's why they promote the game the way that they do. Like, NBA 2K doesn't really start promoting their game until about 3 weeks out before release. They're cocky like that. Like, they don't, there's no other basketball game that they have to compete with. So they wait until the last minute. However, within those last 3 weeks until the game releases, they at least do like these spotlight. They have like their YouTubers that they signed and that highlight game modes. Like, I remember last year, I forgot the brother's name, but he talked about the NBA My Eras and what we can expect, and they showed like clips of it. They showed what the courts will look like throughout the years and all of this other stuff. And when we as gamers weren't seeing that from AEW Fight Forever, we should have had red flags going up right then and there, because the only thing that they gave us leading up to the release of this game was Evil Uno playing with another wrestler from AEW or -1. And that's all we got. That's all we got was just regular gameplay. It was either one-on-one matches or, stuff like that. And that was it. And that should have been a red flag. Now, I will admit, when we started to see more gameplay, I was happy about it, but I was also waiting to see, okay, kind of show us what can we expect in Road to Elite? What can we expect in any other game mode that this game has? And they didn't say anything. All they kept doing was showing gameplay. That's all they kept showing was the gameplay, and that's it. And then you cut to the release day, and you see how empty the game is. Game modes, all of it. But at the same time, me and a lot of people were able to give the benefit of the doubt, because we were like, you know what? They said they were going to be updating this game. Maybe there'll be a day one patch. No day one patch. Okay, there's no day one patch. Maybe, just maybe, the game will be updated later on. Like, maybe the game's going to be updated like in a week or so. Maybe within the first week, there'll be some type of patch update. Nope. We get on Twitter, Zeddy, or whatever his name is, I don't know if I'm saying it right. He puts up a post and he says, okay, what is your 3 pros, your 3 cons, and what would you like added to the game? I'm thinking like, wait a minute. If the plan was to add more to this game, you guys didn't have a plan on what you wanted to add to the game other than Stadium Stampede? And we're going to get into Stadium Stampede. But it's like, wait, the game is already so empty. You guys should already have in mind what's going to be added into the game. You shouldn't be asking fans what they want to see in the game until at least 6 months to a year out after release, because this game was supposed to survive for years to come. That's why it was called Fight Forever. That's why they weren't doing the yearly release thing. They were supposed to be adding to the game. So to come to fans immediately and say, what do we want in the game? It's like, well, we kind of want more match types. We kind of want creative pay-per-view or something like that. But they're asking, and then he goes on in that post to say, doesn't mean that it'll be added, but it just gives us something to think about, blah, blah, blah. I forgot how he phrased it, but it's like, wait, but you guys are supposed to be updating this game. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know. July 25th was supposed to be the date that we get Keith Lee and the Bunny. That was showcased before the release of the game. And then they come out 3 days before the 25th to say, hey, no, those dates are false. Nintendo put those up, and they tried to keep putting the blame on Nintendo. Yeah, Nintendo put those up. Don't listen to any dates that don't come strictly from AEW. Business 101. Listen, I don't own my own business, but I do know that if somebody's saying something false about your company or something that you have made, you kind of got to set the record straight, because that hurts you in the long run. That hurts you. If I'm making a product and somebody is saying the date to that product is such and such, when I get wind of that, I have to tell my customers, no, guys, I'm sorry for this mix-up, but that's not the case. That's why I believe the theory that some people online are coming up with. They think that the 25th was the original date for the DLC and all that other stuff, but there's some issues going on that they're not being transparent with us. And they're still being just as radio silent now after the game's release that they were when the game was in development. We were in the dark when this game was in development. We're in the dark now that the game is actually out. They're not being any more transparent than they were then. We don't even have a roadmap of what we can expect and when. You know how many games at least have a roadmap for when you can expect certain updates? Mortal Kombat right now is not even out. Mortal Kombat 1 is not even out yet. And they have a date for when the combat pack is going to be available. I can name some more games where before the release and after the release, they at least have a roadmap. You can expect this update here. You can expect this update here. We should be told this type of stuff, especially after spending the money that we spent on this game that is not worth $60 or $70. I don't care who you are or what you say. AEW Fight Forever is not worth this money. It's not even worth $30. This is a $20 game at best. It should be free to play at this point. It should be free to play at this point. But people that love AEW are going to say, hey, man, everything is all good. But let's not forget that before this game came out, there was an interview with the developer and that Nick Sobek guy, and I hope I'm saying his last name right. And he said multiple times in that interview, yeah, it was funny because the developer was saying one thing and Nick was saying a completely different thing in the same interview. The developer kept saying, guys, we're not just going to leave you hanging. We're going to update the game. We're going to keep to that promise. We're going to update the game. And Nick kept saying, we're going to update the game if it does well. If it does well. And he said this like 4 or 5 times in that interview. And he kept saying it kind of like in different ways. There were times where he was saying like, it depends. It depends. We're gonna continue to update this game, but it depends. That's what kept being said. But the developer was like, nah, we're updating the game. They weren't even on the same page in that interview. And when you look at what Nick was saying, you're kind of starting to see that whole it depends, because right now the player base is dropping. People aren't playing the game, including me. Online is a mess. Some people find it hard to find matches. Some people get annoyed with how everything is being done on online. There's been no fixes yet. There's been talks of fixes, but there's been no fixes yet. This game is a mess. It's fun, but it's a mess. You know? Like, I have my fun with it. I had my fun with it. But man, like after a while, it's like, yeah, I can't just keep doing exhibition, man. I want to book my own shows. I don't want to keep having to go back to exhibition where it just feels like I'm not doing anything. I want to keep some type of like thing going to where it's like I'm keeping a storyline together. Which brings me to Stadium Stampede. Stadium Stampede is the only thing that we really know is coming to this game is Stadium Stampede. That's the only thing that we truly know is coming. And who asked for Stadium Stampede? Before this game came out, you couldn't find one person that said, man, I hope we have a mode like Fortnite in a wrestling game. I hope AEW Fight Forever has, and look at this, there's a glitch right there. There's a glitch right there. Anyways. But nobody asked for nobody asked for Fortnite in a wrestling game. I know that AEW Fight Forever, okay, it's supposed to be an arcade game. They're going for something different. Okay, I'll play that game. But nobody asked for Stadium Stampede. Now, if it was Stadium Stampede the way it's done in real life, yes, fans wanted that. And yeah, you do have some people who are excited about it. I'm not trying to just act like, nobody, it's not for anybody. People are excited for it. However, nobody asked for that. I know I didn't ask for that. That's the last thing on my mind when it comes to a wrestling game. Which brings me to a point that I've brought up several times before. The vision that Kenny Omega and the team at THQ had for fans was so different from what fans expected or wanted. Over the years, wrestling fans have grown accustomed to being their own booker, right? That's why we love Universe Mode. That's why and I have issues with Universe Mode in 2K. I've made videos about it. I have issues with it. However, it is a game mode that is extremely popular in the 2K side. We've grown accustomed to being able to build our own shows, create our own shows, create storylines, put matches together that maybe we didn't see in real life before. We get to fantasy book. People love that. People love my GM. GM mode was highly requested by the vast majority of the wrestling gaming community. And 2K finally put it in there. Now, it was half-assed. Now, there's more that you can do in 2K23, but when they put it back in 2K22, it was half-assed. However, it's still a mode that was highly requested. So what I can't understand is how Kenny Omega and the guys at THQ didn't understand this when they were making this game. Like, I get that you want to make a different kind of game. We need different kind of games, right? We need games that have different modes. I haven't even been one that says that this game needs a universe mode or a GM mode. I'm saying if you're comparing it to No Mercy and you know that the wrestling community likes fantasy booking, then why not do create a pay-per-view / create a show mode? You could at least have a mode that's similar to a universe mode, because you'll have us being able to create our own products and have the mode kind of keep track of what you already done. So it's not like you're just kind of going in and you're making it really basic. Actually have the mode mean something, have ratings be involved. Have how many 5-star matches were on your show, how many 4-star matches were on your show, 3-star matches, 2-star matches, etc. Have it be something in the game where it's like, okay, what did fans feel about this show? You can add little things, like little things here and there to it. And that's the thing that I can't wrap my mind around. It's like, for them to think that it was okay to release a game in this current state is baffling to me. That's why I feel like there was some things that happened behind the scenes that we just don't know about on why this game was released the way that it was released. I think things happen. I don't know what those things are, but I'm like, man, Kenny, you didn't know that people love universe mode? You didn't know that people love GM mode? Like, you didn't know this? THQ, you guys were a part of making some of the universe modes in the early games. You guys forgot? Like, you know, Brian Williams was working on it. And maybe that's why Brian Williams left and went back to 2K, because of how things were being done with the making of AEW Fight Forever. So it's just, that part is baffling to me, man. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate comments. People are going to probably be there's going to be probably a lot of AEW fans giving me thumbs down, man. But it's like, look, I love AEW. I wanted this game to be awesome. But now we're in a situation where, let's be honest, this game might not get the updates that we thought we were going to get. I just want everybody to be prepared for that. I think we'll get Stadium Stampede. I don't think they're going to, like, you know, take that one back. But outside of that, the DLC being, you know, pushed back, we're only getting 2 wrestlers per DLC when this game severely needs more wrestlers, man. You really do feel the lack of roster in this game after just several playthroughs of it. Like, when I do go to play it and I'm picking wrestlers, I'm like, man, I wish I could be the Acclaimed. I wish I could pick the Gun Club or Billy Gunn or, you know, somebody else. Sky Blue. Tony Storm. Like, I want to be able to pick these people, man, but I can't. They're not in the game. Shawn Spears is one of my favorite wrestlers. When he was the Perfect 10, Ty Dillinger in WWE, I loved him when he was in NXT, because he got treated like crap on the main roster. But when he was in NXT, man, Ty Dillinger was one of my favorites. The Perfect 10, he was one of my favorites, and he still is. And he's been a part of AEW since AEW started. Pretty much. He was at the first Double or Nothing. He was at the Casino Battle Royale. And then a couple weeks after that, he debuted. I can't remember. I think it was either at a pay-per-view or on a Dynamite when he hit Cody Rhodes over the head with a chair and busted him open. He's been a part of the company for that long, and he's not in the base game. Are you kidding me? Like, what were they even thinking about when they put this roster together, about who you can choose now and who's going to be DLC later? I'm telling you, the making of this game and what it went through, everything baffles me, man. Everybody should be at the state right now of like, look, this may be the game that we end up with. Promises in the gaming industry don't mean anything. You know how many games have promised, oh, we're going to continue to update, and then over time, when it's a failure, the developers just say, look, man, it's not worth putting in the money. We can't add to it anymore. It's not profitable to us to add to it, so we can't. I mean, literally, for this game to be saved, it's not just going to take Stadium Stampede, because that's not what a lot of wrestling gamers want. It's going to take more than Stadium Stampede. It's going to take a huge update. I'm talking match types, wrestlers. It's going to have to be the whole 9. And we're going to have to start getting some communication. We're going to have to start getting a roadmap of what we can expect and when. Because me, and just like a lot of other people, I'm back on 2K now. I actually like 2K more than I did because of this game. That should have never been the case. This game, I was hoping to take me completely away from 2K, and I actually grown to appreciate 2K. Now, 2K still has its issues. Don't get it twisted. And I will still continue to make videos about those issues. I will always continue to do that. However, right now, I think that right now this game is not doing really well. And I think that we got to expect the worst when it comes to this. I'm hoping that things turn around. But right now, it is not looking good. Right now, AEW looks pretty dead. AEW Fight Forever, not the company. AEW Fight Forever. It's looking pretty dead right now. So, it is what it is, man. Let me know what you feel in the comments, man. But, yeah, it's really not looking good for this game. The radio silence, updates being pushed back. There's only so much you can do in this game. There's only so much that you can do. I'm not speaking just for myself, but I can't just do one-on-one matches. I can't just do lights out matches over and over again. I can't just do regular 2-on-2 matches and not have tornado tag, even though 4 people can be in the ring at once. You got fatal 4-ways and you have the casino battle royal with 4 people in the ring at once, but yet you can't program the game for tornado tag. That's weird. They have interferences in Road to Elite, but we don't have the option to have interferences when we're regularly playing the game. I don't know. It's mind-boggling, man. Like I said, I at least was under the impression that we would get these updates. They would kind of know, instead of having to ask, hey, what do you guys want? I'm thinking like, hey, we're missing match types. Add that for starters, at least. But I've ranted on long enough. It is what it is. At this point, it brought me back into the arms of 2K. So it is what it is, man. I got a wrestling game that at least gives me some options. So yeah, man, it is what it is, man. Like I said, let me know what you feel in the comments, man. If you made it to the end of this video, man, I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. As always, it's your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.